Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What's Up Caribbean. Tonight, we have two important guests. First of all, a state representative and a governor. It's a privilege for us today to have with us Representative Mary Woodson. Welcome, Representative Woodson.
Thank you, Elizabeth. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you this evening for such an important cause in order for us to really introduce to the viewers the next governor for the state of Florida. We have here with us in your studio, actually, Governor Charlie Crist, that everybody has known in the state of Florida for a while. He was a governor, and when he was a governor in the state, his door was wide open for everyone. You can touch him, you can feel him, you can talk to him actually about real issues that are impacting our state of Florida. So it's really an honor and a pleasure for us to have him here with us tonight in order to let the people know what it's all about, his plans for the state of Florida, and why we all should rally behind him and support him to be the next governor in our beautiful state of Florida.
Thank you very much, Mary Woodson. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Representative Woodson, welcome to Island TV. And we are very honored to have with us today Governor Charlie Crist. Welcome to Island TV.
It's my honor to be with you, Elizabeth. Thank you.
You haven't aged. What happened?
I take vitamins every day. I work out every morning, and I swim every morning also. And the reason it works well is that my father, Charlie Crist Sr., the real Charlie Crist, my earthly father.
You're not the fake one, right?
He gives me good advice and my sisters, and I listen to him, and we all do, because he's the smartest person I've ever met.
Wow. And what
My
are
best
his
friend.
advice?
My first call every day.
That's fantastic.
Eat right. I eat vegetables. I eat fruit. I eat meat, but not often. I love fish. I told you that before. I don't eat much bread at all, even though I love it. It's a discipline. And I don't eat sweets.
So you see the result when you do all that, ladies and gentlemen. You have to take care of your diet. Yes, it's important.
Take care of the body. It's mind, body, and soul.
And soul
The body is
together.
the temple. It's God's temple.
So we are very happy to see you running again.
Thank you.
How was your life since the last time we saw you?
Oh, it's been great. So I've been serving in Congress now. This is my third term. I served Tampa Bay, home of the Buccaneers. But it's been wonderful. I mean, I've got to meet, you know, I love this person, I must tell you.
Everybody loves her. She's like Raymond. Everybody loves her.
She's the best.
Everybody loves Mary.
Marie's a godsend.
Thank you.
But, you know, I've met some wonderful people from all over the country. The speaker is an amazing human being. But I've met, you know, Jim Clyburn from South Carolina, for example, and just, you know, great people in New York and Virginia and California. It's the people that I care the most about. I mean, I'm on the Appropriations Committee, and that's a godsend because that's where the money comes from. And I'm so grateful to God that we have been able to support our Florida, La Florida, the state with the prettiest name, and the whole country in this pandemic that we've had to fight through. And the thing that concerns me lately about that, Tampa Bay, which is right there, is a hot spot right now. And all of Florida, it's increasing. So I hope that everybody wears a mask when they're indoors. I hope they all have been vaccinated if they choose to do so. and I want us to get through this as well as we possibly can. We've already lost over 80,000 now. Floridians have died. Almost 6 million Floridians have contracted COVID. And a lot of it rests at the feet of Governor DeSantis. He did not advise us to heed science and get vaccinated or wear a mask indoors. But what he did do, and this is a sin, he advised us to use a medicine called Regeneron, and that's fine, but that's not until after you get it. And my dad's a doctor, I just told you. My sister's a doctor. Prevention is the best way, whether it's cancer or COVID. And he didn't advise that way. He gave us the way to try to cure it after you get it, which is important. But here's the problem. He advised us to get Regeneron, which is a good medicine. I don't have any qualm with that. But the man who has the most stock in it, or second most, in the country, Ken Griffin from Chicago, who grew up in Boca, gave the governor $10 million for his campaign for re-election. And then the governor of Florida goes around the state as a salesman for Ken Griffin for his Regeneron. The medicine's fine, but to promote it to 22 million Floridians. But it's worse because he gets on national TV through Fox News. So he's a salesman to 360 million people. So a guy who gave him $10 million benefits financially while he doesn't advise my fellow Floridians to exercise prevention, get the disease, and then they can buy his friend's drug. That's what I'm running against.
Wow. Among other things too, of
That's
course.
right. The woman's right to choose. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Exactly.
LGBTQ.
So, Representative Woodson, for the new Haitians in town, can you tell us about Governor Charlie Crist? For the people who were not here when he was a governor.
Thank you so much for having the governor here and myself. As you can see, you know I stand behind people that I support.
We know that.
And if somebody is not about anything, I don't stand by you. But I have known the governor when he was the governor of the state of Florida. And we are looking forward for him to become the governor for a state that we all love. Because the state of Florida has taken us in as immigrants, as Haitian immigrants, as other immigrants. So we need someone who cares about everyone in the state. When the governor was in Tallahassee, when he was the governor of the state of Florida, we knew everyone, whether you were Democrats or you were Republicans, you had a seat at the table. And I can attest to that because I had reached out to him. I wasn't even in office at that time. I had reached out to him and he responded and made sure that he followed through over the request that I had. This is the type of person that we need in office. When he's in there, he would fight for every single one of us. Our Haitian community have always been taken for granted, and we don't want that to happen. We want someone who truly cares, someone who would understand the plight of the Haitian community, just like any other community, someone who would put us at the table just like anybody else. And this is what the governor is all about. Governor Crist is all about. And this is why I am standing by him. I'm with him in this fight, and I will continue to be with him until he gets to Tallahassee.
Wow, that's a strong statement.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Thank you for it. So, Governor Crist, as a former Republican, do you recognize the party right now that you see right now?
That's a great question. A lot. So I started seeing a problem back in 2009, 2010, and it really relates to President Obama, who I love. Great president, great man. Michelle, they're amazing people. So this goes back to February of 2009. I'm the Republican governor at the time of Florida. We're in the Great Recession. It's a nightmare economically, much worse than the inflation we're dealing with today, much worse. And I remember I was in Tallahassee in my office, and my scheduling office got a call from the White House that the new president, Barack Obama, was going to come to Florida, to Fort Myers, And they were inviting me to greet him when he came. So the staff comes into my office in Tallahassee, and they said, Governor, we've just gotten off the phone with the White House. They have invited you to meet next week with President Obama in Fort Myers. He's coming there to do a rally for the Recovery Act, the stimulus. Do you want to go? I said, of course. And they said, are you sure? And I said, yeah, why do you ask? And they said, well, you know he's a Democrat.
Wow.
I said, he's the president of the United States of America. And he's coming here to help our Florida and our country. I am going. Tell them I will be there. So they did. So I go down to Fort Myers the next week. I'm in the Fort Myers Convention Center. I'm not sure what they call it locally. And I'm in a garage area. And all of a sudden, in comes the beast, the big black Cadillac. He's in the it's massive. He's in the back seat, of course, along with Congressman Robert Wexler from West Palm. And so the president sees me. I'm standing right at the front of the car. It stops, thank God. And he looks at me and he goes, and I go, okay. So I walk up to the back door. He opens it. The congressman gets out the other side. President Obama slides over and he goes, have a seat, Charlie. So I sat down. We're sitting just as close as Representative and Governor are right now, Marie and Charlie, the M&C guy. But really, so the president looks at me very seriously and he said, couple things before we go in the convention center. I said, yes, sir. And he said, number one, Charlie, thank you for coming. I'm grateful that you're here. You're going to take grief for being here today. And I said, oh, I don't know about that. It'll be fine. He goes, listen to me. You're going to take grief for being with me today. I said, I'm honored to be with you. He said, good. Since you're here, would you introduce me today? And I said, that would be an honor. I'd be pleased to do that. He goes, well, let's keep it simple. This is just what he said, exactly, or almost exactly. He said, okay, Charlie, so you see those steps over there? I guess he had been briefed on the logistics. And I said, yes, sir, I do. He goes, we'll just go up those, and it's going to lead into the auditorium when we get to the top. He goes, another warning. I said, what's that? He goes, it's going to be loud. I said, yeah, I'm sure. I've been in audiences before. He goes, no. This is the first time I've been out of Washington since I got sworn in. My first trip to La Florida. I said, okay. He goes, plus, these are my people. It's going to be loud. I said, okay. He said, so when we go in, it's going to be loud. You just walk to the podium, you know, give your introduction, say whatever on your heart or your mind about me and the Recovery Act. Then I'll come up and I'll do my thing and that'll be it. Is that okay? And I said, of course it's okay. You're the commander in chief. Whatever you say goes. So we went up the steps, walked in. It was loud. He was right. I mean, the place was jumping. And then I go to the podium. I thought I gave a proper introduction for a president. I conclude by saying, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Florida welcome to President Barack Obama. Place goes wild again. He comes up to the podium. I'm standing right there. He shakes my hand, and then he does this. He gets up, I get up, and we hug.
Oh.
Just like that. And somebody took a picture of it, right? And that was it for me as a Republican. Because what I found out in the days that followed was very disappointing. You know, a lot of my then fellow Republican friends, and I don't want to paint too broad a brush here, because there are good Republicans out there.
Absolutely.
There are, of course. And they were disappointed that I was with a Democratic president. But what I came to find out eventually, many of them were disappointed because I was with the first black president. And it broke my heart.
Wow.
Well, it's a fact. And it broke my heart. And that wasn't how I was raised by my mother and father, Charlie and Nancy, and my three sisters. We were raised to respect others, to do unto others as you would have done unto you. I wear this every day. What I just said is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have done unto you. And this says practice the golden rule every day. And that's how I was raised, whether you're black or brown or white or tall or short or gay or straight. We're all children of God.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing experience.
So you're not
so I
surprised
became a Democrat.
of the way they are right now? You're not surprised of the way, because
No, not
The,
completely,
the
because
Republican values that we used to see, we just don't see them anymore. Of course, as you said, we still have some good Republicans, the old school ones.
Yes, ma'am.
But right now, it is scary.
It's a nightmare.
Are you surprised, or did you expect it to become that bad, if I may say?
Elizabeth, I didn't think it would get this bad. I thought what I saw then was pretty horrible. And again, I don't want to paint too broad a
Yeah.
brush because, as we said, there are good Republicans out there, and God bless them. But, you know, after Trump, it got worse. You know, the whole thing metastasized like a bad cancer. And, you know, dear God, we've got to get back to good.
Yeah.
That's why I'm running for governor.
Right.
Because this governor is anti-woman and their right to choose. He says we're the freest state in the country.
No.
Yet, not if you're a woman, apparently, in Florida. You don't get the right to choose anymore.
No.
You know, not if you're LGBTQ. They're going to get chastised in school. Not if you're black, because he's making it harder for you to vote and return your ballot to a drop box. It's not in minority communities anymore. He's anti-democracy. I am a Democrat running for governor to protect democracy. He's an autocrat running for governor to be a president and to support autocracy.
Is it difficult to run against him?
Well, I told you the kind of people that are supporting him, like the Ken Griffins of the world. The root of all evil is money. I don't need that money. I'm going to get money from good people.
Right.
The good people go to charliecrist.com. Help me. I can't do it alone. Help me like Marie is helping.
And if I may add to that, Elizabeth.
Representative
for a
Mary, we
minute.
will have to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
With nearly 20 years of experience, provides clients with a variety of marketing and production services. ImagineArt can help promote your business on any local or global media platform. We handle all aspects of your campaign, from creative content production to campaign strategies. ImagineArt also offers professional entertainment services, including DJ services, artist booking, 360 photo booth, animated gobo projection, photography, uplights, dance on the clouds, sparkles, sound engineering, and more. We are the one-stop shop that you need. Visit our website or call us at 305-303-0415.
Mesdames et messieurs, m'a rappelé nous que invité nous à Soya, c'est gouverneur Charlie Crist, cap couru contre gouverneur DeSantis. Et là, je souhaite poser la question juste avant pause là. Is it difficult to run against DeSantis? So we still want to hear you, and then we will listen to your comment, Representative Woodson.
Sure, sure.
So tell me, is it difficult to run against this guy because he has a lot of support and
No, he has a lot of money. Big
a lot of
difference.
money?
Yeah.
I think his support is a mile wide and an inch thick. In other words, thin. He gets most of his support from people outside Florida. What he's doing is running for president, let's be honest. He's running for president in 2024, and he's seeking every red, hot button, red meat Republican issue he can to try to compete for the Republican nomination against Donald Trump. And he's forgotten Florida in the process. We're a purple state. We're a third Republican, a third independent, and a third Democratic. And he's appealing to only one of the three. And only to half of that one, the primary Republican voters, not even the general election, because he wants to get the primary election for president in 24. He's forgotten about Florida in 22. I'm enjoying running against that because I love Florida. And the governor of Florida should love her with all his heart or her heart. And he doesn't. He loves his ambitious future. And that's not fair to you. It's not fair to your daughter. It's not fair to Marie. No. It's not fair to any Floridian. Florida deserves a governor who wakes up every morning thinking about, how can I help Elizabeth and her family? How can I help Marie and her constituents? How can we get better housing for our people? We are the most expensive state to live in the United States, more than California, more than New York, because he's turned his back on us. I respect LGBTQ. I respect women and their right to choose. I respect teachers, and they need to be paid well. I respect protecting God's environment, and he doesn't. On every one of these issues, Ron is wrong, Ron. He's dead wrong. And Charlie's right. I am, because I listen to people. You know, God gives us all 2 ears and 1 mouth, and we should listen twice as much as we talk. And I strive to be a good listener like Marie and be a servant with a servant's heart.
Servant, yeah.
He's a politician. I'm a servant of God.
You are human, and you
Yes.
love people.
I do.
Representative Mary Woodson, you were going to say something.
Yes, I was. If I may add something to what the governor said, this election is not about money. It's not about how much money a candidate is raising. The issues are in front of everyone. We see what's happening in our state. We saw what happened, the hatred rhetoric that is being taught in our state. Mab di tout moun kap gade, se pou nou wè bien ouvri zye nou pou nou wè sa kap pase nan État Floride la konya la. Nou gen un gouverneur qui ka comprendre nous, qui comprenne ça qui passe. Si nous pas ouvrir yeux nous sorti nal voter, c'est pour nal voter. C'est pas l'argent. It's not about money. It's about going out there. Cast your vote for someone who would respect you as a human being, who would respect your values, who would listen to you, who love the state, who wants to see the best for the state of Florida. You know, all of us immigrants, that's where we come because we can identify with the state of Florida, the culture, the food, the different people that you have, the melting pot that we call Florida. This is what Charlie Crist is all about, and this is why you need to vote for him.
Absolutely.
Et c'est pas l'argent, comme dit nous, parler tout le monde, ni petite, ni cousine, ni maman, ni frère, ni soeur, ni amis, pour nous sortir, pour nous voter pour Charlie Crist.
Mesdames et messieurs, nous allons observer en pause publicitaire. Nous allons retourner dans un moment.
From creative content production to campaign strategies, Imagine Art also offers professional entertainment services, including DJ services, artist booking, 360 photo booth, animated gobo projection, photography, uplights, dance on the clouds, sparkles, sound engineering, and more. We are the one-stop shop that you need. Visit our website or call us at 305-303-0415.
Mesdames et messieurs, je invité nous pour nous regarder quelques vidéos et photos de gouverneur Charlie Crist. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you that our guests tonight are State Representative Mary Woodson and Governor Charlie Crist. I have two questions for you. First of all, I would like to have your views about gun control. And second of all, you said that you came here at 3, and I learned that you are a mix yourself. And I was surprised. I didn't know that you were from
Greece, Lebanon,
Greece,
England. Yeah.
England. That's fantastic. So we will talk about the gun controls first, and then we'll
I'm going to talk about my grandparents first.
Okay.
Because for me, it's
However you
family
want.
first, if you don't mind.
No, I do not.
You're the
You can
boss.
stay here forever.
Well, thank you. And I enjoy doing this. It's important to communicate with the people.
Absolutely. That's
So
number one thing.
you mentioned my heritage. My grandfather, his name was Adam,
Okay.
like the first man. His last name was Christodoulus, not Crist. You have my bumper sticker? I want to show the name. Do you have it? Oh, you can get it for me now, please. Thank you so much, Samantha. It's important. I want to visually show. So his last name was Christodoulus. He immigrated from the island of Cyprus, which is deep up in the Mediterranean. And he did that in 1912 when he was only 14 years old. And when he came to this country, he couldn't speak the language. He didn't know anybody, and he didn't have any money. Because he went from Cyprus to Egypt to, it might have been Morocco, and then across from England to Ellis Island. Came to Ellis Island, 14 years old, goes into a large building there, and he told me, he said, Alec, he called me Alec when I was a kid because my sister Margaret, the one I lost, she got a brain tumor I mentioned earlier. She couldn't say the CH in Charlie. So when you take the CH away, it's just Arlie. But my grandfather had this heavy Greek accent, and so Arlie became Alec. So he said, Alec, I was so distraught when I was there. You know, I couldn't talk to anybody, and I didn't know anybody, and I thought about killing myself.
Wow.
About jumping off the balcony in this big building and just ending it because I lost my hope. And he said, then I heard a Greek voice, and I heard my language, like you hear Creole. And he said it was like the sun came out, like the sun, S-O-N. And he said, you know, I started to cry, tears of joy. He offered me a job, working shining shoes for a living in Altoona, Pennsylvania, where I was born, and at $5 a month.
Wow.
And, you know, you talk
You
about
live
tough.
here?
1912.
Okay.
I mean, so it's not what it is now, but still
Exactly,
wasn't
yes,
good even
yes.
then, you know. So he went to Altoona. He shined shoes. He saved his money. He was frugal, like I am, and eventually opened up a small cafe. A lot of Greeks open a restaurant. He opens a restaurant and he meets his soon-to-be bride. Please, thank you, Sam. I appreciate it very much. And at any rate, so he meets my grandmother, whose name was Mary. And her last name in Lebanese was Khoury, Khoury,
Okay.
which means pastor. Are you picking up what I'm
Yes.
putting down? Okay, so let's go back to the grandfather for a minute, Adam, Christodoulus. Christodoulus in Greek, any idea what that means?
No.
That I don't know.
Disciple of Christ.
Wow.
Okay, so my father, Charlie Sr., I call him the real Charlie Crist. He was my best friend, the first one. But he shortened it from Christodoulus to Crist. And he took the H out of it because this is different. It's not.
That's so interesting.
And so it became Crist, Christodoulus, I told you, disciple of Christ, Khoury,
I learned something.
pastor. It's a lot to live up to. But I'm doing the best I can. And I'm trying to bring, as I said earlier, good back to the state of Florida, because it's been dark. You know this, Marie.
Yes.
You've had to work with this governor. And it's sort of love versus hate.
Yes.
I only love, 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 love. the greatest of these is love. And the man I'm running against seems to hate everything. I've never seen him smile. Think about it. You know, and as I said earlier, he's gone after blacks and their right to vote. He's gone after LGBTQ and their kids being respected in school. He even dressed down some kids who dared to wear a mask
Yes.
behind him at a press conference.
Right,
Who
right.
does that?
Right.
Well, his name is Ron DeSantis. DeSantis. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
But imagine the ballot. Imagine the ballot, because in Florida, you know this, you're the lawmaker.
Christ and
Well, wait a minute. Not yet, not yet. So the party that has the governor is always top on the ballot between the two. So it will be DeSantis versus,
Crist for governor.
well, you know, you can't make it up, can you?
That's right.
There are no accidents. God is good
That's
all the
right.
time.
All the time.
And all the time,
All the time.
God is good.
now
To the
your
arms.
views about the gun
Yeah.
control policy.
It's horrific what's happening in our country. I mean, we had Buffalo, you know, and a bunch of black Americans get shot. Then we have, you know, Texas and what happened to those kids at the school,
Uvalde.
you know, and it's horrific. And both were done with assault weapons, like AK-47, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, I think we need to ban assault weapons. Yesterday, a year ago, 10 years ago, we need to have background checks that really check. We need to have red flag laws that, you know, give us the opportunity to have people that have clearly indicated something's not right,
Right, right.
make sure they don't get a gun. And we got to close all these loopholes for gun shows. I mean, you can go online this after. I'm not going to talk about it. And you can get a gun easily, and that's
Right.
wrong, right? And
18 in Texas. If you can't drink at 18, you cannot smoke at 18. Why should you have a license to carry
Thank
a
you.
gun?
Raising it at 21, it's absurd as well.
it's absurd.
Exactly.
There's no big difference.
And I want to say this. I believe in the Second Amendment.
Of course,
Right?
we all do.
I have a gun. I have a 20 gauge Remington model 1100 shotgun that I used for bird hunting.
Right.
So I get it, and, you know, and I support that. That's okay. That's a healthy endeavor for people who
Right.
enjoy doing that. But to have it, why does anybody in American society need an AK-47?
Yeah,
I'm glad our military has it because I want to protect our freedom.
that's war.
Yeah, but to have it so they can go into a school with it is insane. So I hope Congress gets their you-know-what together for the sake of God.
Right.
God's not happy. Because how are you all doing? You in the United States, above all, you're the most blessed country, one nation under God, the USA. You're the most blessed country of all of them I made. And all you do is bicker and argue with each other.
Right.
You're defying the word of God. And I will not stand for it. You better get right quick.
Exactly.
Wow, that was strong. But what do you think can be done if you're elected governor to control the social media? Because we saw that recently all these mass shooters, they always post something on social media. What do you think can be done? They are private-owned companies. How can we control them so they can signal to the government, this guy just said something weird? Is that impossible to do?
Let me say this. I believe in liberty and I believe in actual freedom, unlike our governor. He doesn't believe, he says we're the freest state, and I'm getting to your point, don't worry. He says we're the freest state in the country, yet apparently not if you're a woman and your right to choose, not if you're black and your right to vote, not if you're LGBTQ and being honored as a child of God. We're the least free state under DeSantis of all the states in this country. Having said that, what can we do about this? What can we do about social media? Social media is a real concern to me. And the concern about it is how coarse our conversation has become. Because when you're discussing with somebody, whether it's a text or email or Instagram or whatever it is, TikTok, you're not looking somebody in the eye as a human being anymore. You're talking to a device. And it makes it easier for some people to not be as kind, to not be as compassionate, and not to honor the golden rule. And that's a concern. And I'm not sure yet how to resolve it. But I think, number one, we need to lead by example and be decent to one another and be gracious, to have more grace in the way we comport ourselves in our society, to be more Christ-like.
This is what is really missing here right now, and
It
in the
is.
world, if we want to be honest.
Yes.
What do you know about us Haitians?
Not enough. I mean, I've not been to the island yet. I've been to the other side of the island, the DR. But I recently went to Puerto Rico, which I loved. I love the Caribbean. I've been to Barbados. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to the Bahamas. I've been to Jamaica. But I think the real hidden jewel, hidden gem, is probably Haiti, because the Haitian people have had to put up with so much. When I was governor, horrible earthquake there. And I set up a special task force in Palm Beach County, led by a man named George Sheldon, God rest his soul, who went there over and over on my behalf, as sort of as an ambassador, if you will, of Florida, to do everything and anything we could to be of aid to this precious, beautiful island and beautiful people. And so I want to go with Marie if she'll accept the invitation.
Gonna go soon.
Oh, great.
Yes, we are.
Keep
We
us
are.
posted.
You should come with us
Yes.
I will.
and bring your daughter,
Absolutely.
Yes.
and we can broadcast what we do while we're there.
Absolutely.
That will be nice.
We'll
You know?
enjoy that.
But it's going through a lot of strife. I mean, obviously lost the president, and heartbreaking what's happening. And there's a lot of violence right now going on, and that's very disturbing and troubling. But as I told you, I'm the grandson of somebody who came from an island. I am an islander too. Your show, The Island. I'm an island. It's Cyprus, not much unlike Haiti, not much unlike Florida. Florida's almost an island. We're a peninsula. 3 sides are water.
We have the island mentality here.
We do. And it's a blessing. It's a godsend.
It is. So what is your message to the Haitian community, especially about the immigration problem?
We're a nation of immigrants. I mean, but for immigrants, there wouldn't be a United States of America. We'd still be only Native Americans. But now we are Haitian Americans. We are Greek Americans,
American,
Lebanese Americans,
Irish American,
Irish Americans, Cuban Americans,
German American.
German, Jamaican Americans, Bahamian Americans. And so that's the strength of America, in my view. That level of diversity is a beautiful collage. And that's what makes America strong, because I think the common denominator and thread of that, whether you're from Haiti or Germany or England,
Right.
is that somebody like my grandfather and my grandmother, too, to her credit, had the courage and the independence to want to come to this new land. And the purpose for most of them is economic freedom, capitalism, gives you the opportunity to do well by doing good, hopefully, instead of not good. I'm a compassionate capitalist. And I think that's the beauty of our country. And I believe that Florida is a microcosm of the entire nation. Look how diverse Florida is. You know, there are like 1,000 different languages spoken just in Miami-Dade schools. That's incredible. That's wonderful. You know, we're the UN of the UN. And so I think it's a great strength. I think that the Haitian people should know, should they vote for Charlie Crist, they'll have a governor with a heart again. A governor who understands that the greatest of these is love. We have to love each other. Love our fellow men and women. Do what's right for people.
Exactly.
It's not about right versus left to me. Never has been. It's about right versus wrong. It is right to honor each other and treat men and women and black and white and gay and straight with mutual respect and dignity and kindness and compassion. Read the Bible. Read about Psalm. Read about Jesus. Live a Christ-like life, and we'll all be better off, whether you're from Haiti or Cyprus or whatever country it might be.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we have to take a short break. We'll be right back. Going back to our previous discussion, us in the Haitian community, we had bad experiences in our country with voting because sometimes it doesn't mean anything. So they think it's the same thing here, many of us. And they said, whatever, we still have the person who have to be there. And
Can I
they
give you
don't
some
think
faith
that
and hope?
their vote is important. So I would like you to talk to them directly to let them know.
Am I looking at that one?
Yes.
So I got the honor of serving with a man named John Lewis, a black congressman from Georgia, a great, iconic civil rights leader. And he used to always tell me and anybody who would listen in the Congress and in America, he would say, Charlie, he said, you know, your right to vote is precious. It's so precious, it's probably sacred. Because from that right to vote and that right to self-determination and that independence that is unique for the United States of America, and frankly, only 20%, 27% of countries have democracy. The rest don't even have it. We're blessed to have it. If you get out and you exercise that right to vote, if you make sure your family exercises that right to vote, and your friends and the people you go to church or synagogue with, make sure they get out, do souls to the polls, exercise the right to vote. As President Obama said, again, I'll reiterate because it's important to repeat, when we vote, we win. If you vote, you will have a new governor. DeSantis will be gone. And Florida's future will be bright. And we'll bring the sunshine back to the Sunshine State because you deserve better. With housing, with the price of gas, with the price of groceries, with the education your child gets, and honoring the teachers who teach them. 2 of my 3 sisters were public school teachers in St. Petersburg, where I grew up. These things are important. Life can be better. Life will be better. But you got to vote. Please vote. For God's sake, please vote. Thank you.
I promise that it will be my last question. Can you name a few people that you admire in the world?
My father, God. All glory to God. And my father, my earthly father, Charlie Sr., Dr. Crist. My mother, Nancy, sweetest person I've ever met in my life.
Besides these people that you just mentioned in the world, like leaders,
Okay.
name some leaders or person that you really admire.
President Barack Obama. I love him.
That makes
He's done
2
great.
of us.
Yeah, love
I
him.
guess
3 of us.
3 of us.
All of us.
A lot more. There's your whole audience.
I'm sure.
President Joe Biden. His numbers aren't great right
2
now.
of us too.
But let me tell you, can you imagine if the other had won?
Oh my God.
And we were dealing with Ukraine and Putin?
And if we don't run, if we don't vote, that's exactly what we're going to get. That's why we need to vote for Charlie.
No.
And one thing I think you need to bring up also, he's so well respected that Nancy Pelosi came out and endorsed Charlie.
Yeah. And Alex Sink, who was one of our nominees
Right,
for
that's what
governor
he's saying.
before here in
That's
Florida.
big.
She was our CFO.
Right.
Who else endorsed you?
Kathy
right now?
Castor,
Okay.
Marie Woodson.
He has a lot of us legislators.
I hope you soon.
Of course.
Even more so your
Always.
daughter, the next generation.
Yeah.
Sure will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My mom and dad endorsed me.
Really? That's
Yeah, we got that one. Thank God.
That's absolutely.
And so many more. We have Mayor Massam.
Oh,
from
we've got over
Myanmar. We have-
150 elected
Endorsement.
and community leaders that have endorsed me already. I've been endorsed by 3 unions already. I've been supported by, doctors and teachers and lawyers, and we've raised about $12 million now. I'm humbled by the support,
Yeah.
and I know I'm going to win because Florida needs to win.
C'est un show très spécial à Swea. I mean, this is the friendliest, important political personality that I've had in my show. So cool, so humble, as you can see. And I really wish you good luck. Thank you so much for visiting us. And
My pleasure.
I hope that we will see you again. Je pense que nous passons un bon moment à Swea. Et puis, Jean Representative Woodson Sodili, votez pour sauver la Floride. Avec vous, c'était Elisabeth Guérin. Souhaitez-nous une très bonne soirée. Rendez-vous pour semaine prochaine. Bonsoir.